Alright guys, welcome in. We're going to introduce a new build today. This is going to be the Shard Runner. This is the build that I would like to have working with my Necro Bash build in tandem. As usual, this tandem is built around the usage of the Crypt Cannon's investment. That's what our focus is on the next few videos. So we've done 3 videos so far. We've got the Fire and Ice combination going out, or already been out, which is the Warden and the Dragon Knight. That build combination is ready to go. We also have the Necro posted out right now. That's our third build. That's the Bone Crusher build, and that's going to go play right along with this, which is the Shard Runner Templar. It's called the Shard Runner for a reason, because when we're bashing on our Necro, we're spending a lot of stamina bashing, right? So if we throw a shard to our friend who is a Necro, now he can bash quite a bit longer, right? Now, and there's a couple different things we can do to make that even better, but we're going to just stick with this format. I think just throwing them one shard should be helpful enough, because if they need to, they can always just heavy attack as needed. Okay? All right, that's the basic premise behind the build and what we're thinking. Let's move on to the character sheet. First thing. Oh, that's not the first. First thing. We have 64 points in the magic. The max magic's at 22 in Cyrodiil. As long as you have high regions and you're a healer, I mean, even if you're, no matter what build you're playing, healer or tank, or doing some DPS when you get in Cyrodiil, it's not really going to matter. Your total resources is a little bit less important than your weapon and spell damage, and you, as a healer, even more important than that is your recoveries, okay? Health is always good in Cyrodiil. 32 is usually my goal. If we can get to anywhere around 32 is fine. It's an arbitrary number. You could say 30 and push your other stats up higher. Totally up to you. That 32 just gives a little bit of wiggle room, okay? Stamina at 14.5. We have a little bit more than your regular builds because we are on a Nord, right? So let's go look at Nord just for a second. What are you talking about? Yes. What does it mean to be a Nord? Let's go down to Nord's bonuses. Nord, we get more max health, we get more stamina, and we build ultimate. This whole premise behind these builds is to build ultimate and share ultimate. So you do need to be a Nord on quite a few of them, because it helps us to build ultimate more quickly. Okay, we don't care about cost reduction on ultimates, because on these builds we need ultimate. We don't need to reduce the costs of our ultimate when we're using our Crypt Cannon's investments. Whichever build we're using as kind of our battery build, our catalyst build, that's sharing the ultimate, that build should always be a Nord. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to always be a Nord, because I have to go back and race change so many characters to make that happen, right? And it may not necessarily be how I play them in all content, but if you're looking at it from the perspective of what's the best, Nord's definitely the best. Okay? And I do like the resistances, especially in Cyrodiil, especially being a healer. Okay? Next. All right, character sheet. Food as usual is Jewels of Misrule. Bonus is the Lover for more resistances. I'm trying to be as tanky as possible in Cyrodiil. Cyrodiil is just, it can be rough. Okay. Back to our max stats. Health looks good, stamina looks good, recoveries look okay, but they're going to get better in combat and with a potion. With the potion, that's 1607 with a mag, and then in combat, we'll show you real quick right here. It goes up to 2215 in combat because of one of our sets, okay? So, that again, boom, boom, set, in combat 2215. And let's get out of combat just to see if we're right. Put these guys to lay down for a minute. And then that guy. Okay. Now we're out of combat. And out of combat, you see it goes down to, as we said earlier, 1607. Okay, so the reason for that is, I'm going to go briefly into this set, is that one of our sets is, as we're being attacked, Wretched Vitality. And as we're on our back bar to get these buffs, it gives us recovery, damage, and then on the back bar it says, while in combat, your major buffs or debuffs grant you 260, and then your minor buffs or debuffs grant you 130, both magicka and stamina recovery. Okay, so as we're in here, we're in combat, we're on the back bar, we have our wretched vitality, axe, and shield on the back bar, 5 pieces up. I can drop a major buff, which is channeled focus, which is going to give us major resolve, and I'm going to drop extended ritual, which is going to give us access to on the restoring light passives. Minor mending, while standing in your own cleansing ritual or ruin focus. Area of effects, for up to 4 seconds after leaving them, you gain minor mending. But while you're standing in them, you also gain the same thing. So boom, boom. Now all of a sudden we look at our character sheet, and our buffs when it comes to recoveries is much higher. Okay. Pop the potion, and it goes even higher for mag recovery. All right. Let's get rid of our friend here. Thank you for participating, my friend. All right. Next. So front far back bar is different, but let's go fully buffed and let's see what we look like. We're going to go with our combat prayer version, which is, I don't know the name of it, Blessings of Restoration. And our other defensive buff, which is channeled focus. And we end up with a total of, on our back bar, 35,000 spell resistance and 32,000 physical resistance, okay? Which is kind of where we want to be. I like having high resistances in Serial. It's just, you can't get away from how important it is because it's extremely helpful. All right, one more time, just take a look at it. It's at 35 and 32. On the front bar, it's lower. We're at 31 and 28. Okay, so if you get focused for whatever reason, go to your back bar, block if you need to, and take care of business to heal yourself. Okay. Spell crit is really low. All of our crits are really low, so we're not focused on crit on this build. We're just looking for heals. Whatever kind of proc heals or burst heals we got. This is mostly for, again, helping our teammate to stay alive by feeding him shards. That's why it's called the shard runner. We can make some adjustments if we need to, but our crit is where it is. Spell damage close to 4k. We're playing off of spell crit and spell damage because those are our two highest stats. We already talked about our resistances, and the last one is critical resistance at 2.9, and we'll talk about why that is in just a moment. Okay, back to it. Sorry guys, Jewels almost rule. That is correct. Lover. And then major protection right now because of one of our skills we have slotted. Okay. Next. Let's go into our gear. The gear is, as we talked a minute ago, we haven't had a chance to talk about, which is Mars Bomb, which is one of the tankiest sets in the game. It gives you free purges in the game. It removes negative effects. Let's read through it real quick on the 5-piece. 2 pieces armor, 3 pieces crit resistance, 4 pieces healing taken. The 5-piece, most important part. When you have a negative effect, when a negative effect is removed from you, restore close to 1300 health. This effect can occur every 1 second. So if you're cleansing for whatever reason, if somebody else cleanses you by accident, you cleanse yourself, whatever. And we're on a Templar, so we do have a kind of some passive cleansing with cleansing ritual, right? So that's going to happen passively for us quite a bit. Next, when you take damage and have 6 or more negative effects, restore 1300 health per negative effect and then cleanse all of them. This can occur once every 30 seconds, okay? Perfect. Great cleanse and a great heal makes us much tankier, right? Only on the front bar, though, okay? And if we need to, if you're being focused and you need to get that cleanse, you can always flip back to your front bar if you're on your back bar and get the cleanse and then go back to the back bar. Next. On our back bar, we have Axe of Wretched Vitality. Why Vitality? We have Defending, and we have an impin shield. Why vitality? Because we just talked about all the recoveries it's giving us. We're going to need those recoveries while we're fighting in combat, you know, helping our neighbor to stay healthy and survive. Okay. Next, Earth Gore. We have it in Reinforced, both pieces in Reinforced. I like to make sure that whatever I do with my monster set, I like to have on both pieces of the monster set, just because it gives me flexibility with the other pieces if I need it. The monster set is always able to be Reinforced heavy. If I want to wear light on other pieces, if I want to wear medium on other pieces, it just makes me a little bit tankier for wearing Reinforced heavy on both monster pieces, what I normally do. All right. Reinforced heavy, both with a health glyph. You can change the glyphs however you want, just to meet the max stats which we have on the build, which is I think 22 and 32, right? Magicka and health. As long as you're meeting those flat stats, you're good. Okay. Chest is infused. You can go with a tri-stat glyph if you like. I like going with a infused. You can go infused health because health is going to give you more stats overall, and then you can adjust as seeing fit. I just went with Magicka because it was the quickest thing for me to do to resolve the issue. Okay. Core. Why Earth Core? Let's talk about Earth Core. First item, healing done. That means you can heal your friends and yourself. The higher quality. If you know anything about the builds I've been putting out when it comes to the healers, I like this for the fact that when you're in Cyrodiil, you're going to need as many cleanses as possible. This set is a cleanse. When you heal yourself or a group member that's under 50%, you can enter a pool of blood underneath them, immediately removing all harmful area effects and healing them the lowest health group member in the area after 2 seconds for 3,700 health every 2 seconds over 8 seconds. This can occur every 20 seconds. So wonderful. Another cleanse for us. Even if it's just harmful area effects, I mean, that's fine. Any kind of thing that we can get to help cleanse is going to be helpful. All right. Next. Let's go over the other parts of our armor and what we have for the traits. We have a light sash, Wretched Vitality, M-Pin. We have a light gloves, Wretched Vitality, M-Pin. We have the Greaves of Trainee. You could use Druid's Braid if you'd like. I'm on the PTS, so it's just easier for me to do with this one. I don't necessarily want to have Divines. For me, I'd like to have Reinforced. I just forgot to transmute it. Then you have Light. My apologies. This is Heavy Trainee, one piece. I would go Reinforced. On the legs. I'm wearing this one piece of Trainee because it gives me max health. That's the highest stat that you have for one piece max health. On the feet, you have Shoes of Wretched Vitality. It's light, M-Pin. All of our jewelry is healthy. I just left it that way. You're going to end up buying it. When you do buy it, it's going to be healthy. So you can leave it healthy. No recommendation to change. Mine's all gold only because I'm on PTS. You can buy the purple and do just as fine. This adds I took the multi-effect glyph, which is it doesn't say multi-effect when you create it. It's going to say magic damage glyphs. And I have them on all of the jewelry because I don't need any of the added recoveries because of the fact that we're wearing the Wretched Vitality set. Okay. That is the gear and all of the glyphs and traits. Next, let's go into our skills. All right, let's start on the back bar. Back bar, which is our defensive bar. I'll think about it in that way. Back bar defensive, front bar is our heal bar. Okay. First thing, Razor Caltrops. So why am I doing that? Because on our other build with our bash build may not be giving itself major breach. And if that person needs that major breach, we can help them by putting Caltrops. Next is, all right, Lingering Flare. It's just revealing flare from the skill tree, which is your PvP assault skill tree. I'm sorry, support skill tree. Change it to, I took revealing flare and changed it to lingering flare. You don't have to even morph it. If you want to save some skill points, either one's fine. We're not really using for the skill. We want what's on the second paragraph. It says, while slotted, you gain major protection, reducing your damage taken by 10%. Next skill we have is not healing ritual. I'm sorry, guys. It is going to be Breath of Life. If you are a healer, if you've ever played a Templar, you know how important Breath of Life is. We took this one because if I cast it twice, once, you know, to get, let's say, get my health up, and another time to get my neighbor's health up or my partner's health up, then it's going to at least offer a little bit of extra health to both of us. We're both going to be receiving benefits from that. Okay. After that is Channel Focus. It is the Magicka version of Rune Focus. Create a Rune of Celestial Protection. It's going to give us our major resolve from physical and spell resistance. You also gain, this is very important also, 2/4/2 Magicka every 1 second over the duration. Now, it's not part of your recovery that you see in your statistics, but it does help your recovery. While the rune is active, you heal for 688 health every 1 second, scaling off of your max health. We have pretty good max health, but not great. So the heal is, it's not a very great heal. It's an okay heal, especially in Cyrodiil. It's cut in half, so it's going to be like a 350 heal. It's not good. Standing within the rune increases the healing done by 200%. So if you can stay in there, then it's going to be very hard for people to knock you out. That's our back bar. We have no ultimate because we're using Crypt Transfer to transfer our ultimate abilities to our friend. Is going to be Energy Orb. Don't need the stun, take Energy Orb. Brandis, why take Energy Orb? Well, because guess what? Whenever your neighbor who is running with you takes this synergy, guess what they get back? More stats. So it's going to be another resource refiller for your friend who is running the Bash Goliath. Okay, our Bone Crusher build. So you don't need the stun, Mystic Orb, or I'm sorry, not Energy Orb. If you don't need the stun, run Energy Orb. Okay. Linger and Flare on both bars to make us as tanky as possible, having that 10% major protection. Radiant Glory for the execute, because our friend who is the Bone Crusher Bash Goliath a Necro build, he's not going to have access to an execute. So if he gets him down low, we're just going to pump our enemies with Radiant Glory to reduce whatever health they may have left to dust. It'll be very helpful to us and very painful to them. This is our burst heal on the front bar. I took Blessing of Restoration. It's not necessarily the most buff worthy of the two, but it is the easiest to maintain because, as you can see, the duration is for 20 seconds. Okay. What we move to the back bar, which used to be on the front bar, is going to be Luminous Shards. Okay. Send your shards into the heavens, and that's just for, it's not for the damage it reads right there. It's going to be at the very bottom. An ally near the shard can activate the Holy Shard synergy, which restores both Magicka and stamina up to 4,000. Okay. All right, so that's the bars. One more time, go over it. You have Caltrops, Lingering Flare. This is the back bar with the shield. Breath of Life, Channeled Focus, Luminous Shards, no ultimate. Front bar, Energy Orb or Javelin. Again, Lingering Flare for protection, Radiant Glory for execution to help your ally. I have Blessing of Restoration just because it has a longer defensive buff, even though you're missing out on the offensive buff from Combat Prayer, and an extended ritual to apply on the ground if you need to cleanse yourself or your neighbor. The reason why I put ritual on the front bar is because it pairs nicely with our front bar set. I forgot about that. That is the Mars Balm. Okay, because it's going to help cleanse our effects and provide us with a heal when those effects are cleansed. All right, I think we've gone through that. The next thing is our champion points. Those are our skills. Champion points in the blue tree from the brink. Going to give us a free damage shield in Cyrodiil. It's a nice 5k. It's a nice, as they call it, juicy damage shield in Cyrodiil. It's going to absorb 5 to 6k of damage for you freely every 30 seconds. Because we are cleansing ourselves and our neighbors a lot, and we're going to be activating that at least once every 10 seconds. And that's going to give a free burst heal of 3k health in Cyrodiil because it's cut in half. Cleansing rituals. The next one I would like is resilience. Resilience gives us our crit resistance. We do need to have a high crit resistance because they are critting like crazy in Cyrodiil. All right. Next, red tree. Celerity, slippery, fortified, balanced vitality. Okay. If you wanted to play a little bit more blah, 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 blah defensively, you can change some things if you'd like. I do like survival instincts whenever I need to. Just up to you. The ones I have here are going to, I think, save you the most amount of resources, because having a break free is something we all have to do in Cyrodiil. You've played in Cyrodiil at all, so having a free break free, because that's pretty expensive, is going to be extremely helpful. It'll keep your stamina a little bit higher. When you're looking at it, Furnace, how expensive is a break free? As you can see in our little advanced stats, it's on the left column underneath bash cost, which is 500. Break free cost is 4,000, and that's always stamina, right? So if I can get a free break free to keep 4,000 stamina in my back pocket, especially since we can't run tri-stat potions on this build because we need the added, you know, spell power and weapon power and crit power, then it's a huge benefit. Now, if you don't want all that extra power for your build, and we don't necessarily have to have it, you just remove that spell power potion, which we have, and use this one right here, which is the one that allows you to be unstoppable for 10 seconds. That'll help you preserve stamina. You just have smaller heals. Okay? And less damage whenever you go to execute. Last thing, playstyle. What do we do? All right, so how do we play this guy? All right, you're going to have your buddy, your big old buddy in front of you, bashing everything in sight. Your main play is you want to keep yourself suited up by keeping your resolve up. And if he sees enemies he wants to knock down, you throw out your caltrops. Very simple. Boom. Okay? Just throw out caltrops to him. The first thing that's going to debuff the enemies for you. Now, he starts bashing away. You throw him a shard. Got it? So you have caltrops and throw him a shard. They start running out of stamina or whatever it is. You throw him a different synergy, because you can't accept the same. You're on a synergy cooldown. So as soon as he accepts the synergy from shards, even if you throw him another one back to back, he cannot receive that synergy to get the resources. So you'll have to throw him a different synergy, which is the Mystic Orb synergy. Okay? Throw the orb. If your friend's getting focused, put down your extended or your cleansing ritual so that they can synergize and cleanse themselves. And then go ahead and hit them with, if they're close to execute, you hit them with Radiant Oppression, or Radiant Glory, excuse me. Oh, sorry for the choppiness. Ran into a little bit of lag right there. A lot of lag right here. Sorry, guys. I'll put these down real quick. They're taking damage. And in the end, I'm just going to execute. Boom. Boom. Okay, so as the enemies go down, use your execute. Blessing of Protection just provides them and you with more resistances, which is, again, in Cyrodiil, great, because they're going to try to peel back all of your resistances if possible. And that's it. Very simple. Feed your guys some resources. Keep yourself buffed. If you do get focused, make sure you keep that rune on the ground, block, and then hit your Breath of Life. And then wait for your buddy to show up. When your buddy shows up, you know, you can put some more kind of damage on the ground. He peels them off of you, and then you press your execute, which is Radiant Glory, to finish him off. That's it, guys. Pretty simple. Hopefully you enjoyed going through the build. Hopefully you play it. And hopefully you have a great day. See you on the next one.